Before Scarlet and Violet was released, expectations were an all-time high, with people speculating that this could be the best generational Pokemon game we've had to date. Following up from Legends Arceus, which was an incredible and groundbreaking masterpiece of a game, most of us Pokemon fans expected something similar in terms of quality. But when the designs of the Generation 9 Pokemon started to leak, that's when things became either hit or miss. The Pokemon Company began to release trailers for specific upcoming Generation 9 Pokemon, such as Grafaiai, Greavard, and Wiglet. And to be honest, these trailers were actually pretty good. They created a lot of hype behind these Pokemon, and the way the trailers were released, well, that was a smart move. You see, the more hype that was built around Scarlet and Violet, the more excited we were to play, which in turn led us to expecting a lot more than what the game actually had to offer. The first few days of its release shocked the entire community, both good and bad. This was the first open world Pokemon game we have ever got, so a lot of us didn't know how the game would perform quality wise, and sadly it didn't meet our expectations. For such a long awaited and hyped up game, there were so many things wrong with it, from the glitches, lazy designs, pointless gameplay to the effortless battles. Things were just all over the place. But why? Didn't the Pokemon Company have enough time to finish the game? Well, that's the exact problem. You see, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was nearly complete in March 2022, but it was delayed to provide time for a year of polishing, and it shows because this game is basically perfect. The animations, the storyline, the design, the gameplay, the mechanics, literally everything is spot on. I've personally only played around 20 hours of the game so far, and it's already one of the best Nintendo games I've ever played. And that's all because they didn't rush the game. They put their love, care and effort into giving us the best possible gameplay experience they could. Something that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sadly didn't deliver. But they could have, because Generation 9 is not a bad generation. It's got some cool Pokemon that I personally really enjoy, such as Annihilape, Kingambit and the Paradox Pokemon. But these designs deserve to be shown in a finalized and polished Pokemon game. And who knows, if the Pokemon Company had more time to finalize the game, maybe the designs would have been even better. The Pokemon Company tend to release a ton of games or updates every year, but only a few actually feel completely finished. Take for example the latest Pokemon game remake, which was BDSP. That game released back in November 2021, then only 2 months later Legends Arceus was released, and then near the end of the year we got Scarlet and Violet. Now I am grateful for all these new releases we got, but I reckon the Pokemon Company could have made the games a lot better if they separated the timings for their releases just a bit more. That way Scarlet and Violet could have been a more polished and developed game, because if we take a look at the difference between the release date of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there is a 6-year gap. Now obviously Pokemon can't afford to take a 6-year gap. They usually take 3 to 4 years in between generational mainline games. And that's fine. I still want them to continue doing that, but I don't care for half-hearted sideline Pokemon games if it means that their workload will affect the quality of the new generational games. Because imagine how better Scarlet and Violet would be if they used the time they worked on BDSP to polish up the game, and then they could have just released BDSP after. Now would have been a perfect time to release a sideline Pokemon game, before we await the DLC.